What's up, YouTube? It's the Console Samurai with Grown Ups Gaming. And yesterday was E3 Day Zero, and they showed off some pretty interesting things. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to be there myself because I would have loved to have done that, but I did not get to do that. Maybe one of these years I will. To start off with, Xbox showed off some new hardware, and some of the hardware I expected. I expected to see something about Xbox 1.5, or codenamed Scorpio. That wasn't a huge surprise, and they did say it's coming out. The ETA is December 2017. And we don't really know everything that's going to be about it. We know it's going to be definitely a much stronger version of the Xbox One. But the part that really kind of caught me off guard, excuse me, is that they announced another new console. They announced the Xbox One S, which is just a slim version of the current Xbox One, with a few changes. They've dropped the giant power brick that Xbox One has, and it's also going to be beefier. It's going to be a stronger console. It's going to have 4K output. It's going to have better Blu-ray. It's going to have better components, a bigger hard drive. It's going to be everything that Xbox 1.5 was supposed to be. So what the hell is Xbox 1.5 going to be then? I think it might be a mistake to release two brand new consoles like this, even if they're not really fully brand new consoles. Releasing the slim version and this mysteriously upgraded version that's going to be able to do so much more than the current Xbox, all within the same year, might be a mistake, personally. But we'll have to wait and see that out. Now, as far as the software, we got to see some pretty good games. Last year at E3, they showed off two games that we really didn't get much information on. Scalebound and Recore, which both looked good, but we really didn't get anything last year. This year, we got a little bit more, and both of them actually look really good. I'm looking forward to seeing more about both of them. For people who have gotten sucked into Witcher 3 and have spent thousands of hours playing the game inside the game, Gwent, CD Projekt Red recognizes the addictive nature of that game and has come out with a standalone version of Gwent. They announced it yesterday at E3, and I see there's probably going to be a few people who are definitely going to jump on that. Now, the downside to that is I remember when Square Enix did try to do that very same thing with one of their, well, actually two of their games, Triple Triad and Tetramaster from the Final Fantasy games. They tried to come out with standalone versions, and they just didn't work. For whatever reason, the attraction never really translated outside of the game. And that may be what happens again. We'll just have to wait and see. But other than that, Microsoft actually came out with a couple cool new feature announcements for Microsoft or Xbox in general. Well, Xbox and PC are blurring, so they are one and the same. One of the features is Xbox Play Anywhere, where games are going to start coming out where you buy it on the Xbox and you'll automatically get it on the PC. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a completely separate copy or if it's just going to translate in a cross-play kind of way. We didn't really get a whole hell of a lot of information on this, but we did get a list of which games are coming out. Now, the fact that we got a list of which games is coming out with means it's probably not going to be retroactive to all the Xbox One games we already have, which is kind of unfortunate because I was really hoping that if they were going to do something like this, it would be across the board. But maybe it will, and they just didn't get around to announcing it, or maybe that's coming sometime in the future. Now, they also announced 3 new multiplayer modes, one of them being Looking for Group, which is actually a really cool feature. It's going to be like a Want Ad or Craigslist on the Xbox environment, where if you're looking for people to play with, for example, if you are the only one of your friends who plays whatever game, and you want to play with other people, you can go on this Looking for Group app, basically, and you can find other people with similar interests to play with you, which is a really cool idea. Or you can look for people who can join the game and help you complete this mission or that mission, or whatever. It's actually a really cool feature, and I think that's a very good addition to Xbox. Now, a very similar thing is Clubs, which is not going to be the same kind of thing, but is similar in that you look for people who share the same interests, and you share ideas, and you chit-chat and shit like that, just like on communities on PlayStation 4. This isn't to knock Xbox and say, oh, well, you're just ripping off PlayStation. PlayStation did it. It's a good way to explain how this works on Xbox. Same concept. Another really cool feature is going to be the Arena on Xbox, which is going to be a competitive version of Xbox Live. It's going to be within Xbox Live, but it's going to be competitive with rankings and They didn't say it, but I feel like it was implied that there's going to be championships, there's going to be competitions, there's going to be stuff like that. There's going to be reasons to participate in this arena thing other than just bragging rights. But I could be wrong. Now, PlayStation also showed off some pretty cool stuff. We got to see a new Hideo Kojima game for PlayStation 4 starring Norman Reedus. And when I saw this, I was thinking, wow, they're actually going through with Silent Hills. That's pretty cool. That's definitely gonna get a lot of attention. But it's not Silent Hills. It's actually a game called Death Stranding. Now, we don't know anything about the story, but it does actually look really good as far as the graphics. It looks pretty good. So I am interested in seeing what it does turn out to be. Another game people have been looking forward to is The Last Guardian. We got the official announcement that it is coming this year. Now, the problem with this is that the people who are interested in Last Guardian were interested in Last Guardian so long ago that I don't even know if they care anymore. If I remember correctly, this game was supposed to come out on PlayStation 2, and it's just been delayed for that long. It looks good, but I think it's so overhyped, and now people may not even care about it, to be honest. Another actually good-looking game is Days Gone. It is a new biker and zombie game, which maybe because I'm not a huge fan of zombies, it looks good, but I'm really just not interested in the game itself. Partly because I feel like it's just the zombie thing is just so oversaturated now. I'm just so far past caring, to be honest. Another interesting game, or everyone actually knows about this one already, but they did show off Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and the running joke of Call of Duty just being rehashes of previous ones. They are remastering a previous Call of Duty. Call of Duty Call of Duty Modern Warfare is getting the remaster treatment for PlayStation 4. Not a huge surprise, but still kind of interesting because I did get to see a trailer and it looks good. It definitely does look good. Now, what the big news I feel like from PlayStation was the announcement that PlayStation VR is coming on October 13th, 2016, this year, and it will have 50 titles at launch. That's actually really good for a launch of a peripheral, basically. It's not even a separate console. It's just a peripheral to an existing console, and that's actually a really large number of titles that are being available at launch. And I think it's actually also going to apply to previous games as well, if I remember correctly. It's going to work on almost all PlayStation games retroactively. So that's just going to be an additional 50 right off the bat, which is really cool, but we'll have to see which games they are because they could be terrible. Who knows what those games could be? It could be 3 good games and 47 terrible games. Who knows? Now, Ubisoft also had an event, and Ubisoft kind of can be really hit or miss. We got to see footage of the new Watch Dogs game, which looks really cool, but I gotta be honest, after such a huge disappointment as the original Watch Dogs was, which wasn't a terrible game, but it definitely didn't live up to the hype, I am very hesitant about Watch Dogs 2. I hope it'll be good. It looks good. I'm still going to be cautious about it. Another interesting game, and this is a very interesting idea because it's a completely different thing that we've never really seen, as far as I know, is an open world action sports game like snowboarding, parachuting, cliff diving, all that stuff, all the outdoor extreme sports. There's going to be an open world version of this called Steep from Ubisoft, and it's going to obviously be multiplayer, and everyone's going to be in the same world. It's a really cool idea. Actually, even though I'm not really interested in that kind of game, I do think it's a great idea, and I look forward to seeing what they can do with that and just kind of follow that, even though I won't play it probably. One of the games from Ubisoft I am looking forward to is South Park Fractured But Whole. Now, if you say it fast enough, you'll get the joke. Which looks really good, and they showed us the trailer, and I really liked the first South Park game. I was kind of hesitant, like, I don't know, it might be good. I played it, and I thought it was actually really, really funny. It doesn't take itself too serious, so it's really great. And this is going to be kind of a sequel to The Stick of Truth. And in addition to that, it comes out December of this year, and if you pre-order, you get Stick of Truth for free for anyone who doesn't already have it and just wants to get that game. You actually get it for free for pre-ordering. I don't know if it's everywhere or if you have to go to a certain place, but that was mentioned yesterday. Another interesting game is For Honor, which is going to be three guilds of different warriors, the samurai, Viking, and the knight, all fighting an open world war game, which actually I think is kind of interesting. And three guesses for which one of the guilds I'm interested in. Um, but it looks actually really cool, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, because I'm not really sure about it. It could be good, it could be kind of boring, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, every E3 we hear about DLC and new add-ons and stuff like that. And The Division is one of the bigger games of the last year, so they did announce that there's going to be DLC for that. So, what did you think about E3 this year so far? I know it's not over yet, but what did you think of Day Zero for E3? Did you think that there were any good games? Did you think it was all overhyped? Did you just watch it and go, there's nothing good coming this year? Either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Once again, I am the Console Samurai, and I'll see you around. And if you did see any good-looking games, if you did see anything that you think I missed, please let me know in the comments down below. See you around.